quite simple now. To win Sumo Basho, the competing robots have got to push Shunt out of the arena within 21.15 seconds. Panic Attack leading with a fantastic score.
From Brighton and seeded number 14, Bigger Brother.
Joe Watts, 7.5, and Dad Ian Watts, a broadcasting engineer, with Bigger Brother, reached the semi-finals of Series 3.
Roboteers, stand by.
You have 21 seconds to push Shunt out of the arena.
1. Activate.
And Shunt weighs 105 kilos. Bigger Brother dances around Shunt and ends up out of the arena. About as heavyweight as Little Joe, Big Brother. Not great opposition for Shunt. Straight away out.
From Norwich, Thermidor 2.
David Harding and Ian Harvey with Thermidor 2. We've already seen them in the main competition of Robot Wars.
Roboteers, stand by.
Go on, get that flipper in underneath Shunt. Lift Shunt away and out of the arena. Go on the attack. You have to attack now. Do not be conservative and defensive. It will not do that. I was going to say it would do any good. What was the point? Lobster in reverse. Oh dear. But it means we have our winners. Confirmed champions of the 4th series of Robot Wars at Sumo Basho. Panic Attack, the only robot to push Shunt out of the arena. Brilliant.
Congratulations to our sumo champion, and a 3-year supply of diet milkshake will be winging its way to you shortly. Right now, it's back to the wars.
And the big question, can Wheelie Big Cheese get that left-hand drive repaired in time against Suicidal Tendencies and the Big Axe? So the road to the heat final. Well, Wheelie Big Cheese too strong for Prizephita, immobilised there, and had time to take on Killertron, seeking revenge for the last series when it took too much punishment. Then, flipping Killertron up and over, and mightily impressive too. Meanwhile, Suicidal Tendencies had already met Killertron in defeating Maverick, overturning Maverick, ending their hopes, and Wheelosaurus was very, very easy in the heat semi-final. In the end, torched.
We're just waiting for an answer, and then we can find out how long it'll take before we can carry on.
This is the brilliant bit about Robot Wars, isn't it?
It's a lovely bit about Robot Wars, yeah.
Do you know much about this? What do you reckon it is?
Possibly a strip gear and a gearbox.
We shall soon find out.
Need a bigger hammer?
Have we had this on Robot Wars before?
Many times.
What happens if they just can't make it through to the final?
Well, normally we would work on the robot so we can make it
Right.
through. So we've not yet had a problem. Let me have a quick look.
Put its lid on again, keep that.
Oh, tell us what it is. Tell us what's happened.
Pin's broken.
Pin's broken.
Yeah.
Easy to fix.
Put another gearbox on.
It's a pin. Oh, forget the pin. Just put a whole new gearbox on.
2 more robots in casualty, and there's a stretcher standing by for another one as they fight for a place in our series semi-finals. It's the 3rd and final round.
From Langport in Somerset, the number 15 seed, Wheelie Big Cheese.
With Roger Plant, I knew he could fix it. Jules, you don't just use your pins to keep your hat on, girl.
From Derby and seeded number 32, Suicidal Tendencies.
Charles Binns on the left, Andrew Jeffrey and his brother Martin on the right.
Roboteers, stand by.
Terrific heat final, this.
3, 2, 1.
Two pacey and heavyweight robots, Suicidal Tendencies on the tracks against the wedge of Wheelie Big Cheese. Don't go anywhere near that front flipper, otherwise it'll be all over, I would imagine, for Suicidal Tendencies. It can run either way up, but if it can be knocked on its side, that surely would be the end of it. The Suicidal Tendencies getting in underneath Wheelie Big Cheese. A ground clearance between 0 and 20 millimetres on that gradient you see of Wheelie Big Cheese, up and over Suicidal Tendencies. A little bit of damage being caused for one of them. I can see some shards of metal perhaps on the arena floor. There's the toothpick approach of Suicidal Tendencies, and Wheelie Big Cheese, there is something still wrong here. I know they replaced the gearbox, but it's not as effective as it was early on, and in comes Dead Metal to attack these studded wheels. Oh, grating metal, did you hear that? Sounded painful. It was Dead Metal as Wheelie Big Cheese tried to flip its way out of trouble, and in the end just gets away. Tendencies comes in on the attack, and again, I don't think there's a great deal of power. There certainly is pace behind the toothpick, but can it really penetrate and cause damage? But it's doing well here. I must admit, I thought this would be easy for Wheelie Big Cheese. Backing on that are Suicidal Tendencies, the Derby team who lost in the heat final to Mace 2 in the last series, using the spikes to get in underneath Wheelie Big Cheese. This is a tough one here for the boys from Somerset. They were the favourites, I would guess, coming into this heat final. It hasn't worked out for them at all. There's been good aggression all the way through from Suicidal Tendencies. Oh, the pit descends. Can Tendencies ease the cheese towards the pit? Oh, just stayed away. You can hear the groan of the crowd. There you can just see shards, splinters on the arena floor. Damage has certainly been caused. Oh, and Suicidal Tendencies very, very near the jaws of doom. And the pit of Wheelie Big Cheese on the brink. That is brinkmanship to the extreme. They are dancing with death out there, the two of them. The Refbot takes a close look and backs away sensibly. I'm not too sure if Suicidal Tendencies has a problem with its left-hand track as we look at it now. I think the left track has been immobilised. Wheelie Big Cheese has driven itself into the pit. And it's a victory against all odds for Suicidal Tendencies.
Well, as always on Robot Wars, controversy is never very far away. The judges want to have a look at that. The judges aren't happy. It's going to a judge's decision.
Well, I thought it was all over, but the judges think otherwise. Let's see why. It could well be that Suicidal Tendencies was immobilised for too long, though the aggression was all Tendencies for me. Wheelie Big Cheese sustaining damage from Dead Metal, but I think it's key here. Had Suicidal Tendencies lost control because of the track problem before Cheese went into the pit? Close.
It's hot up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tense up here, isn't it?
Right.
Well, the judge has made his decision. And the judge says that Suicidal Tendencies' track wasn't working for a long time during that fight, so he didn't have control. So the judges have gone for Wheelie Big Cheese! You must be gutted!
We are, yeah.
I bet you thought you had that, didn't you?
We did, yeah. We were contemplating it to Razorblade last year, where he went in the pit and we had a seized track.
Yeah.
So
I think there might have been a slight change this year, you know, because Gemini went out when only half that robot sort of worked, and they kind of said that only half your robot works because only half the side was working on track. So I think, you know, there is some consistency in the decision.
Yeah.
But you still must be gutted.
Oh yes, we're definitely gutted.
We've had a great time.
Yeah.
What happened with the track?
We don't know yet. We think it's a seized gearbox, same as last year.
A seized gearbox.
Yeah.
See, you've got that persistent problem. You're going to have to work it out, lads.
That's right.
It's on the other side, though, this year. So men one side, it's now the other side.
You've been great fun.
Yeah.
It's been great to have you.
Yeah.
Come back and see us again.
Yeah,
Pleasure being
Ladies and gentlemen, Suicidal Tendencies! Come on!
We made it! We made it!
The guys from the West Country, all the way from Langport. I bet you thought you were going back home early, didn't you?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We twice made it to the third round and got out. This time we've got through. We're going all the way this time.
Well done.
Yeah.
It was touch and go. You guys must like living on the edge or what?
Yeah.
The skin of your teeth, you big cheese boys.
Yeah, well, why not?
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Wheelie Big Cheese! Well, if there's one thing that your television licence ensures, it's robot mayhem. It's Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Get stuck into the BBC's annual fundraising spectacular, Children in Need Night, over on BBC One now, which means that Top of the Pops is here on BBC Two next.